Hey, welcome back to Interesting Simplified. I'm Terry. Today we're diving into the incredible ancient history behind Göbekli Tepe, the temple that rewrote human history. Built by people the textbooks swore couldn't build anything at all. So stick around and let's simplify it. On a dusty hilltop in southern Turkey, there's a set of stone pillars older than writing, older than the wheel, older than farming, older than the pyramids by about 7,000 years. And they were built by people we assumed literally could not build anything. Hunter-gatherers, no cities, no metal, no agriculture. This one site forced archaeologists to tear up the whole story of how civilization began. Here's the old story everybody learned in school. Step 1. Humans learn to farm. Step 2. Farming gives us extra food. Step 3. Extra food lets us settle down, build towns, and free up some people to become priests, artists, and builders. And step 4. Only then could we build monuments and organized religion. Agriculture came first. Everything else came after. Nice, tidy, logical. And then along came Göbekli Tepe to ruin it. For decades, everyone ignored the site. A survey in the 1960s glanced at it and went, "Eh? Medieval cemetery. Nothing to see here." Then in the 1990s, a German archaeologist named Klaus Schmidt took another look and realized those broken stones weren't gravestones. They were the tips of something enormous and impossibly old. So they dug. And they found rings of massive stone pillars, a lot of them shaped like a giant capital T, some over 5 meters tall and weighing many tons. And these weren't lumpy boulders. They were carefully carved, covered in relief sculptures of animals. Foxes, snakes, boars, scorpions, vultures. Some pillars even have arms and hands carved on their sides, with belts, like they're meant to be stylized beings. And then the date came back and broke everyone's brain. The oldest layers are around 11,000 years old, roughly 9,500 BC. That's about 6,000 years older than Stonehenge, 6,000 years older than the Great Pyramid. When these pillars went up, the world was still deep in the Stone Age, chipping flint. And here's the part that shattered the old model. The builders were hunter-gatherers. No solid evidence of farming when the earliest monuments went up. No crops, no herded animals. People living off wild plants and wild game. And according to the textbook, people like that couldn't pull off a project like this. Think about it. You've got to carve multi-ton limestone pillars, haul them into place, arrange them into circles, and decorate them with art. That takes planning, coordination, a lot of people working together, all for a shared purpose that had nothing to do with day-to-day survival. Hunter-gatherers weren't supposed to do that, but clearly they did. So Schmidt threw out a radical idea. What if we've had it backwards? What if it wasn't farming that created the temple? What if the temple created farming? Here's the thinking. To build and use a site like this, big crowds had to gather over and over. Feeding all those workers and worshippers repeatedly might have created enormous pressure to find a more reliable food source than hunting. And here's the tell. Some of the earliest evidence anywhere for domesticated wheat comes from this exact region. So, the need to feed the faithful may have literally pushed people to invent agriculture. Belief and building came first, and farming showed up to keep it fed. Now, fair warning, this is still debated. Newer digs suggest people might have actually lived there, not just visited. Even calling it a temple is now questioned. But that's normal for a discovery this new and this huge. And the core shock stays the same. Monument building society is way older than we ever believed. Oh, and one more twist. At some point, the builders deliberately buried the whole complex packed it with rubble, and covered it over. We don't fully know why. But that intentional burial is the reason it survived so beautifully for 11,000 years. A monument somebody chose to hide, waiting inside a hill for us to find it. And we've only dug up a fraction so far. So, Göbekli Tepe is a humbling reminder that we don't know our own origins nearly as well as we like to think. If you love history that flips the textbooks upside down, hit like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.